Diamond 88.7 FM. We've got you.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport, tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
All right, a very wonderful morning to you, and thank you for staying with us on Diamond 88.7 FM, Plot 2, New Yidi Road, Irewolide, Ilorin, Nigeria. This is News Punch, a news and current affairs compilation of topical stories and headlines making the rounds. I am your host, Nedu Okorie. You are welcome. All right, here are the headlines trending in today's news. President Tinubu seeks Akume, others to Jigawa over deadly tanker explosion. Shetima heads for Sweden as Nigerians await Tinubu's return. Are reforms painful but necessary for growth, says Finance Minister. Akpabio speaks on alleged plot to impeach him, urges probe of media reports. Jigawa tanker explosion, Senate urges NOA to intensify sensitization. Reps demand reversal of petrol price hike. Wike woos investors for FCT as Soludo champions local goods support. New minimum wage to take effect October in Delta State. Nigeria Governors Forum grieves over death of 105 people in Jigawa tanker explosion. 140 Jigawa tanker fire victims buried, 90 hospitalized. Ondo Guba Southwest PDP backs Makinde's call for redeployment of resident electoral commissioner. Edo governor-elect raises the alarm over alleged looting. How a government official tried to block my permit for $2 billion, Nigeria's biggest power plant, Davido's father says. Kwara Assembly calls for establishment of cancer registry. And lastly, on the local scene, police rearrest another fleeing Borno convict. And moving on to the foreign scene, Kenya's Senate launches impeachment hearings against deputy president. Ukrainian president presents victory plan. And lastly, on the foreign scene, more aid lorries enter Gaza after U.S. threat to cut Israel's military support. And in the exciting world of sports, Nigeria denies apologizing to Libya over Super Eagles detention. 2025 AFCON qualifier, Raw concedes top spot to Nigeria. And lastly, this morning, Thomas Tuchel, England coaching job, is step into the unknown. All right, there you have it. Those are the major headlines making the rounds today. It was compiled and edited by Joseph Emeribe. My name is Nedu Okorie. For sponsorship or advert placement, kindly contact our sales and marketing office on 0912 929 4332. You can also call 090 7722 7120. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we discuss and have an in-depth analysis on some of the topical stories. Don't forget that you can follow us by logging on to any of Diamond FM online platforms on www.diamondfm.net. You can also keep up to date via our social media pages. Do stay tuned.
The major talking point in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead, and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hurt Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
All right, it's exactly 8 minutes past the hour of 9 this very wonderful morning. You're still listening to your shining supreme station, Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin, Nigeria. This is the number one station right here in Kwara State. And the program is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we analyze and dissect issues of national importance, salient political matters, and salient societal issues ranging from security, education, the economy, health, and every facets of our society. I am your host, Nedu Okorie. You are welcome this morning. All right, this very wonderful morning we'll be looking at major topics that are making the rounds. We'll be touching on the economy, the general state of the economy as inflation rate continues to rise, despite being at a low in July and in August. We were expecting that it will come down a little bit, but the report for September says it has gone higher. And we'll also look at the alleged corruption in the civil service by the allegations of the Nigerian billionaire Adedeji Adeleke and the challenges faced by contractors and business owners while, interfacing with government officials and the whole, bureaucracy involved in getting approvals for certain projects and all. And we'll also look at agriculture and how agriculture can salvage the situation of our nation despite all the economic challenges we are facing in this country. You can be a part of all our conversations this morning by sending your thoughts via WhatsApp on 0913-655-6864, or you call our studio lines when it would be opened on 0913-655-6952 or 080-00-887-887. Make your message very short and precise, please. And please avoid the use of foul languages and derogatory comments. And do not attack personalities. Do not attack our dear fatherland, Nigeria. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook at Diamond 87 FM. On YouTube at Diamond FM Ilorin. Please, every thought and opinion aired on this platform are the thoughts of our listeners and also our guests. It does not in any way reflect the opinion of Diamond FM. Well, my guest, whom I'll be having these conversations with, is seated in the studio. My guest is a public affairs commentator and a lecturer at the Kwara State University. My guest is Dr. Suleiman Afis. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Nedu.
Of course.
Thank you for having me once again.
You're welcome. All right, quickly, let's delve into today's conversation. Let's just, what we have to discuss this morning are much. Let's just make everything very snappy and all that. Let's analyze the rising inflation rate in Nigeria, even after months of decline. That is the month of July and August, it was on a low. But right now, according to the latest Consumer Price Index report from the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's inflation rate for September 2024 rose to 32.70%, an increase of 0.55% from August 2024 figure of 32.15%. And to a layman, all this might sound like an economic jargon, but what it simply means is that Nigeria's inflation, which is an increase in the general level of prices or in the cost of living, is increasing continuously. And despite all this, in terms of remedying the situation, the federal government, through the chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Taiwo Udele, has said that the wealthy Nigerians earning 100 billion naira and above will begin to face a 25% personal income tax rate if a new tax bill is passed. And all this is just trying to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor and all that. Well, let's look at all this. What's your take regarding first the inflation rate and also the move by the federal government to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor to tax wealthy Nigerians? What's your take on all this?
I want to greet our listeners at home and our viewers. Good morning once more.
Yes.
I wish you a very wonderful day ahead. The first question, of course, I will be answering that first.
Yeah.
But the second one appears a little bit funny and like a mockery, so to say, because of the peg that was because of how they pegged the rich and the poor.
Yeah.
So I will come back to that. But briefly, behind the figure, behind the percentages, behind the number, just like we do in research, we will ask you to please explain it in a layman, what somebody on the street can pick and make sense of, without any resemblance of doubt or convincingly. I will tell you that an average person in Nigeria knows that the price of goods is at all-time unpredictable. You cannot ascertain, in fact, you cannot even start to assume how costly things are becoming, to the extent that the most constant goods in our country before until recently used to be petrol. When there is about to be any change in the price of petrol, you see reaction, you see objections. But right now, it appears even you cannot even assume what the price of petrol will be by next week because of how the price keeps changing. That is another discussion entirely. But to talk about the cost of living, what an individual needs to survive on a daily basis, it's becoming rather too worrisome, because everything practically, you understand, every basic needs keep increasing. And figure or no figure, even while the figure was predicting that in a month or so it was low, we cannot actually see that the reality on the street. It appears everything keeps going up, and that is of a serious concern. The second question you asked about...
Doctor, before you go to the second question, we have to take a break. And when we come back, that second question is relating to taxing the wealthy and installing an economic system to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. The question is, will it amount to bringing down the rate of inflation, or will it favor the middle class and small businesses? This is the question. But we have to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with the program. This is still the Diamond Breakfast Show with Nedu Okorie.
My head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don come again oh. This one wey your body hot so, you don do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Thank you Oga Luta. I don dey kampe. Luta, brand of Artemeta and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 887 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
All right, you're still listening to your shining supreme station, Diamond 88.7 FM, and this is still the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we're analyzing salient issues in our economy, salient issues of the country. And this morning, we're looking at the state of the economy as inflation continues to rise in the country. And before we went on that break, I mentioned that the federal government, through the chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, said that wealthy Nigerians earning 100 million naira and above monthly will face a 25% personal income tax rate if a new tax bill is passed by the National Assembly. And he emphasized the need to strike a balance between easing the tax burden for lower income earners and ensuring the wealthy contributes more to government revenue. What's your take on this? Will it amount to bringing down the rate of inflation? Will it affect middle class or small businesses?
Thank you very much. Let me start this way.
Yes.
When things appears to be as hard as we're having it now, and the government is pleading to us to be understanding. The government is pleading to us to be considerate. The government is telling us that we need to probably sacrifice
and be patient.
One will also expect that the government also is doing the same. But what is actually happening now is that government is rather looking for more ways to rake in more revenue, so at the expense of the populace. The reason why I'm saying this is that by the justification for the removal of subsidy, which can be attributed to the primary cause of our current hardship, accompanied with other things, is the removal of a subsidy. And the justification for this is that government can no longer afford to subsidize crude, and that the money for subsidy is actually going to the pockets of few. We were even given the instance where the subsidized crude in Nigeria is exported to neighboring countries, the bringing and taking away of empty vessels. These are all the reasons I have given. And one thing we notice that once this subsidy was removed, the revenue that goes to states, federal, local government tripled and increased immensely. So that is for sure. Now, once this is done, it's usher in a kind of a regime entirely for Nigeria that we start experiencing unprecedented difficulties, if I can put it that way. Now, the response of the government, the major response and the only response was that Nigerians should be patient. Nigerians should understand and be resilient. Now, once you are telling us to do this, one will expect that every other aspect of government that brings in money shouldn't contribute to our hardship. During this time, we saw the increment in vehicle paper. We saw the increment in custom duties. As we are seeing increment in other phase of our life, the one that goes to the convent of the government
also goes.
We also see the increment, and this also is what is about to happen when it comes to tax. Now, speaking of tax, we largely, you agree with me, if not 100%, and our listener, if not 100%, that 80% that most people that are paying tax in Nigeria are people in formal sectors.
Yes.
There are, by formal sectors, we practically speak of salary earners.
Yeah.
We have informal sectors that government are still struggling to bring into tax net. Now, another problem is that largely the richer you are, the more resources you have to avoid the payment of tax.
Exactly.
In fact, there are instances where insinuation that the rich are not paying taxes.
Exactly. And don't you think that this is a way of ensuring that they don't evade tax payments?
I'm coming, sir. The rich don't pay they don't pay tax. Meanwhile, in countries who are developed, who knows what they are actually doing, they make sure that the richer you are, the more taxes you pay. You read something related to that. But in Nigeria, I always say this, it's not in a bad way. It's not to bring us down. It's to turn the table around. Though somebody said table is not a living thing, so why do we expect it to turn? But we are still hoping that there will be life to table and it will turn around. The fact is that because we are not a typical country, the theory in all those countries is not working. The rich are the one not paying tax. In fact, you see records of rich people, business owners, invading tax. And as a civil servant, as a government worker, as a public servant, as a private worker receiving salary, you can hardly do this because taxes are expected to be withdrawn at what? From the source. So it's not even an option whether you will pay or you will not pay. Before you are paid, the tax has already been removed.
Okay.
Now, this is not to tell us that we still need to increase the tax regime with the informal sector, because honestly speaking, a lot of Nigerians are feeling the heat of what is happening when it comes to our economy. Somebody was asking, he cannot even understand the kind of economic we are practicing, because we are completely moving towards a total capitalist economy. Government is literally removing the hands from anything removable. That is one side. Second angle is that where my concern exactly is with the tax. The fact, apart from the fact that I don't think is the right time to increase the tax. We are collecting taxes to give government more revenue. Now, the revenue we have saved from the removal of subsidy from crude oil is another discussion that even we cannot see how it is being used. We have seen governments at both levels using it for things that may rather not we cannot rather contribute that as being important as what we need now. But this increasing tax means you are bringing in more revenue from the government. But the issue I have, like I said before, was pegging. You read something about saying that it is at anybody that is earning above 100,000,
100 million naira.
100 million naira. Thank you very much. 100 million naira, that it will be increased by what?
25%. Yeah.
Now, this is the issue. We have seen the instances where the people that are earning this much will not even declare. We still don't have the accurate data, you understand, to actually quantify how much individuals are earning. But honestly speaking, by the tax, because there is a time I was speaking with a friend and he educated me about the tax system in Nigeria, in UK and in US. What it says is that there is a particular threshold that if you are not earning up to that amount, government is not expecting you to pay any tax. We can have something like that after we have made sure that everybody is captured, because one of our problems is still data. We have many people who are earning more than you and I are earning, and they are not paying any tax because government is not even aware that they are earning that much. You understand? And these people are also expecting to enjoy. Now, where I'm going is that when we have it, probably, I'm just saying, probably anybody that is earning below 200,000 can be given tax holiday. Now, if you are earning 200,000 to around a particular peg also, there is a percentage that
threshold,
you understand, that will be deducted. And the more you earn, the higher you are expected to pay. But the problem is that even as low as it is now,
yes,
those who are earning that much are still evading tax.
So everything boils down to the issue of lack of data that you mentioned.
Lack of data
management.
Lack of government willingness to pursue government. You understand? When I say government now, I am not talking about the president
or the politicians.
The politicians. In most cases, when we say government, the real government are the machineries. They are the public and civil servants that are making the government to work. You understand? The willingness of making sure that things are done according to book. And it is only when we do that everything we are doing about tax, about livelihood, will make sense in this country.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor, for your candid submission on these issues. This morning we are looking at the state of our economy as inflation continues to rise, and also the directive of the committee that is in charge of tax reforms have highlighted that wealthy Nigerians earning over 100 million naira will start getting 25%, will start being taxed 25% from their personal income. And I have this message here that says, good morning, House. The major cause of all this is that subsidy has been removed. This shows that we have been living a fake life. This is the reality now. Let prominent Nigerians build more refineries. Let all Nigerians have their hands doing something to earn a living. Issa Mohammed from Ilorin. Thank you so much, Issa Mohammed. Our phone lines is also buzzing. 09136556952. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please. What's your name?
Alaji Tayo.
You're welcome, Alaji Tayo. Please go ahead.
Nigerian problem now has reached a stage where everybody just have their hands crossed and begin to pray to Allah to save it. But anybody want to come and say that has not been said. I want to quickly tell you something as regards this generation. Do you know why our toll gate was closed down? It was closed down because the person the corner was not emitting the requirement money and somebody in farmers.
Hello? Oh, I can barely hear what he's saying. Okay, please kindly call us back on 09136556952. Now, what we are trying to do on this program is to, shape the narrative and also try to look for a way forward in all these situations we are passing through in Nigeria. Many have advocated different things, but we have to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll look at how agriculture and farming can help turn around the economy, as yesterday was World Global Food Day. And we'll also touch light on the federal government's remark and concern about the effect of negative comments on the economy. We've been hearing different things, many people calling the president different names, but what effect does all this have on the Nigerian state and the Nigerian economy? This is still the Diamond Breakfast Show with Nedu Okorie. We'll be right back.
Hello there. Looking for fun, laughter, entertainment, dance, trend. Want to mingle or connect? Some relaxation and many more? Search no further. Diamond Amusement Park, located at Plot 2 New Yidi Road, Ilorin, is where you get those. We've got pendulum, carousels, rocket launcher, roller coaster, Oculus Quest, swimming pool, table tennis, bumper car, swing, seesaw, horse merry-go-round, slides, lawn tennis, video games PS4, piggy cart to mention few. Feel the adrenaline rush as I list our game. Want to celebrate your child's birthday, graduation, reunion, get together, or want to surprise your friend, partner, or family? Come visit Diamond Amusement Park today and you'll be glad you did. Refreshment is available at affordable rate. Gate fee is 500 naira. For further inquiry, call 080-2677-3152 or visit Plot 2 New Yidi Road, Ilorin. Diamond Amusement Park, truly home of unlimited fun.
Dìde kára ó lè. Dìde kára ó lè. Ó yá lè dànù orí fífọ́ lè dànù ara ríro lè dànù òtútù ibà lè dànù. For fast relief of cold pain, fever and headache. Dìde kára ó lè kókó.
Ẹ sọ fún ẹ̀fọ́rí òtútù yìí bàtàrà ríro kí wọ́n kán lùgbó one time. Kára ó lè ti dé o. Àgbáwọlé ní ti sẹ́ni àkànwọlé ń tè kàn. Koríko tẹ́lẹ̀ bá ti tẹ òtún gbérí mọ́. Dìde kára ó lè lúbúlúbú funfun pẹ̀yìn rúkù sarajọ mẹ́ra yágágá. Àjàká kò tí sọkọ fún ẹ̀fọ́rí òtútù yìí bàtàrà ríro lágọ̀ ara. Káì! Kàsàkàsà knockout. Agbára ju agbára lọ. Dìde kára ó lè jagunla bí olùgbòǹgbò gàjàtọ̀ ara jàtọ̀ kìtìlẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ ìlúra kẹgbà. To Yield Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. Àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi kápò oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. Bára rẹ̀ ò bá yá lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. Má ṣàfihàn o, kàn sí dókítà rẹ̀.
All right, you're welcome back from that commercial break. This is still the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we're analyzing national issues that concerns us. This message here says, Nedu, there are limitations to human endurance. Being patient in Nigeria has become a slang that has no value to the populace, where some of our politicians are living in trillions. Why should we be patient where we are not secured? Daily taxes of various kinds levied on the poor masses. Minimum wages of 70,000 naira agreed upon for the past 4 months has not been implemented for the workers, talk less of the retirees who have served the nation for 35 years. I can see Nigerians as being tolerant and lover of peace. By the time you push a goat to the wall, it will react. Prince Bankole Owa Kajola. Thank you for that reaction, Prince Bankole. 09136556952. I take one call, then we continue with the program. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, please kindly call us back 09136556952 or 080-00-887-887. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Suleiman.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Yemi Asaju.
All right, you're welcome.
You see, our economy is bleeding and is presently in the intensive care unit of IMF hospital. There is no any meaningful approach as long as our productive or manufacturing sector is inactive. Now, the agri sector that should act as a catalyst for our economic growth is also suffering from neglect, caused by insecurity and some other uncontrollable factors. Now the mining sector is sleeping, snoring. The only source of a reliable income generation in this country is the oil sector and tax from selected individuals and sources.
Mr. Yemes, the line is kind of breaking.
How can we weather?
Please, can you call us back? The line is breaking. All right, please, can you call us back? All right, 09136556952. Let's continue with this conversation regarding how to salvage this situation. He mentioned something I got. He said the sector that is meant to salvage the whole situation is being neglected. And I'm very sure he's talking about the agricultural sector. And the Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abdullahi Isabi, while taking a visit at a farm cluster in FCT yesterday, announced that the federal government will support farmers massively during the dry season farming to produce more. And he also mentioned plans of the federal government to strengthen young farmers in secondary schools to encourage them to embrace agriculture. How can farming help to turn around the economy?
I'm sorry. These are just sweet words. Unfortunately, I choose to be very, very calm these days in analyzing the Nigerian situation because of high blood pressure. Not just that, because we should not take Nigerian problem personally. My advice is don't take Nigerian problem personally.
That is a personal issue.
No, don't take it personally. What I mean is that it's not just you.
It's a general issue, you mean?
If you act as you are feeling, you think you are alone. But somebody sent a message about our resilience.
Yes.
That is the issue. So, but I still so much believe there is a lot we can do. Speaking of agriculture, you see, I always believe we don't need too many agriculturists. We don't need too many farmers. The only problem we are having is that the rate at which we are farming is what we should work on.
Okay.
There's a problem with insecurity.
Yes.
That is the first and the paramount issues farming that is facing farming in this country. Can we solve that? Now, unfortunately, we can still use agriculture to solve insecurity problem.
How?
Thank you. The hideout, the issue we have is the hideout where these people are occupying are abandoned bushes, are places where it's like an occupied space. So nobody is checking them. That is one. And the little people, the farmers that I think are facing these issues are probably the farmers that are still using traditional means.
Subsistence.
Not mechanized farming. If you are traveling from Ilorin to Jeba, you come across a lot of empty lands.
Unguarded.
You understand? Not just even guarded. You do know that somebody said there is no vacant land in Nigeria. The reason why you know is that just go to somewhere and put something there. In the next few days or even sometimes minutes, somebody will come and ask you, what are you doing on my land? Now, but if you are traveling along the road, you will notice that there are bushes that will be fighting the road with you. Now, if you look at other clients, what they do is that those lands are someone's farmland. Where as you are moving along the express, you can see kilometers away where you will see crops being planted. Where people will not rely on manual labor, but on what? On machines. Mechanized farming. By the time we do this, if not that, it may not totally eradicate insecurity because of the level at which we have allowed insecurity, you understand, to governize on us. But it will go a long way. Now we have areas where relatively we still have low level of all this banditry, kidnapping issue. This going mechanized, you understand, will actually help in this area. While we use other methods, you understand, to fight the insecurity in other parts of the country. That is one. Secondly, we have seen government coming in that they will support farmer, they will do this, they will do that. Now the issue is that they are actually supporting farmers.
Yes.
But it's just the kinds of farmers they are supporting. I witnessed not quite long where there is a kind of a support from quote and unquote farmers. Now where these things, the machines, the fertilizers, the crops were being shared, the sad part of it is that all the people who collected, who actually benefited were no farmers.
Then who were they?
Thank you. They were, I don't want to call them political farmers, but they are assumed farmers. Now as they are leaving that all where those things were shared, the actual farmers were by the gate. They do not have access.
Where did this occur?
I don't want to start mentioning states.
No, we have to be
I don't want
factual
to.
here.
No, I am being factual. People knows what I'm saying.
Is this inquirer?
Do I have to mention?
You have to.
I don't have to.
Because we deal with facts here.
Yes, I am giving you a fact. And because I do, like, if you ask me now to bring video evidence, to bring this, since I cannot substantiate it, I am only narrating my experience. You understand? And since I cannot mention somebody's name, I cannot start pinpointing your fingers.
Okay.
Now, the issue is that at the gate, they were not trying to sell it to the farmers. I don't know why you understand what is happening.
At subsidized rate or
no. As
something that was given us free.
Yoruba will say that kò sí iye tí o lè ta nǹkan tí o jèrè. Somebody that stole something. There is no amount you sell it that you are not going to what? You are not to gain. Because the fertilizer you are receiving, you did not pay for it. It's not meant for you.
So, in other words, what you're trying to say is that government should put a lot of checks and measures to ensure that those that will benefit from agricultural programs.
We should stop using government.
Okay.
We should start using whoever is in charge.
Okay.
Because whenever we say government,
the government put in charge.
We think it's the governor. You understand? I'm not exonerating any president, any governor, any minister, any commissioner, but I am telling you that even what some people, some of us, because those people are part of us, they are Nigerians, are even doing is indirectly affecting us, and that is the problem. We are not seeing the consequences of our action. You are asked to distribute. Sorry, sir. Before we leave, you are asked to distribute fertilizers to the farmers. If you do that, the farmers will go and cultivate lands, bring in goods. Prices of goods will be cheaper. Now, if you now decide to give it to your friends, your neighbors, your allies, you know what is going to happen? They will not use it.
In other words, it expands and increases the problem.
That is the problem. They want to sell it either at the same market price or at a lower price, but defeating the sole aim of the distribution of the fertilizers to start with.
All right. In all this, talking about agriculture and farming, my own take is that not everyone have the capacity to engage in mechanized farming subsistently at your backyard, because the way the country is going right now, I've been mentioning this, that no matter who you are,
people are doing that.
Okay, and it is actually helping.
Say this, honestly speaking, God bless Nigerians, and God bless Nigerian youth, and God bless all Nigerians. In my area, there is a brother we lost not quite long. If you are talking about the Nigeria hustling spirit, there is no aspect of agriculture that this young man was not participating in. I am telling you that people are doing it.
All right.
It might not be enough.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that cannot solve our problem.
I agree with that.
So
it might not solve our problem. We are not even
expecting that everybody should go mechanized.
It's a right step in the right direction.
It is. We are already on that foot. But what we are saying, what we need now, what we need now is that the few that can go mechanized, there should be an enabling environment. Since government has shown that they cannot even they cannot own anything, and that thing will be successful. You understand? They can go to they can use PPP.
Yes.
Public private partnership.
All right.
Or they can look for youth. They can match them together, turn them to an organization. Government will have a stake in it, and my brother, I'm telling you,
invest heavily.
They invest heavily. Make the tractors available. If you say you are buying tractors now, the tractors you are selling, you are buying to give to people. Somebody is collecting and somebody is selling it.
All right.
Somebody is using it. Somebody is not maintaining it.
Spent, please. Let's conclude on this and move on to our second conversation. Let's conclude with these messages I have here. This one says, "Good morning, Diamond FM. It is monthly inflammation that the Bureau of Statistics is talking about. As far as the commodity in the market is concerned, the price has increased by 200% since May 29, 2023. Oh, monthly inflammation. Let's adopt the personal income tax model of Britain. For example, we should just wake up and announce." Okay, Peter from Tanke. All right, thank you so much. This one says, "The problem we have in this country are caused by men. Therefore, they should and can be solved by men. They are not beyond President Tinubu or any other president for that matter. What we are lacking in our leaders, unfortunately, is courage and political will to do what is right. Next is what exactly are the priorities of our leaders? Are they in line with the basic expectations of the people? In absence of the above, I'm afraid we may just be headed nowhere. Ben Okorie from Taiwo. And the last message I have here says, good morning, we are lazy and an unserious nation. I don't agree with that. We are not lazy. Adeyemo Aliu from Ofa. If we truly want our Greek to change, tractors and farm inputs meant for wet season shared at the end of the rain or given to people who have nothing to do with farming. It is a fact your analyst is saying not only in Kwara, all over the country. The last distribution of farm inputs by a senator in Kwara was given to political farmers, according to Adeyemo Aliu from Ofa. All right.
I didn't want to mention any state.
No, you didn't mention. It's Adeyemo Aliu that mentioned
I didn't want to mention
Kwara and every other part of Nigeria.
Honestly, on the issue of laziness, to be serious,
I don't agree with that.
No,
Nigerians are hardworking.
I probably there are few people who are, but I have seen a lot of people who are hard workers, if I can put it like that.
All right, Doctor, let's move on to our second conversation, which is regarding corruption in the civil service. Now, Adedeji Adeleke, the father of the popular music star Davido, has alleged that a government official tried to prevent him from securing the environmental permit for his power plant worth over $2 billion. And he spoke on Tuesday at the Seventh-day Adventist Church General Conference Annual Council in Maryland, USA. Let's try to, play some excerpt from that occasion.
Presently, about 15% of the electricity need for Nigeria. I'm building, almost completed by January, by the grace of God, my new power plant that will be the biggest thermal plant in Nigeria. It's a 1,250 megawatts power plant, will become operational in January. But during the course of the design and getting all the permits, we ran into difficult government officials. For environmental reasons, our permit was denied. The particular government official that I held a meeting with told me to my face that your project will never see the light of day. But while he was saying that, I was saying in my mind that this guy is talking as if he's God. Meanwhile, it's a 1,250 megawatts power plant. Price tag is about $2 billion US. I got on my knees and I prayed about it. And I asked God to make all things well. Let him know that you are God Almighty and there's none like you. The following week, on a Wednesday, I got a call from the Ministry of Power that I should come to the minister's office. So I went and I was handed over my permit. Amen.
All right, that's Adedeji Adeleke, the Nigerian billionaire who has invested in the power sector in Nigeria. He says he owned about 15% stake in the power sector, power generating sector. Now, let's look at the bureaucracy and challenges involved when contractors, individuals, business owners try to interface with government officials to get approval for different things. I was speaking with one of my guests last week, and he mentioned the fact that his pure water factory, after getting approval from NAFDAC all the way from Abuja, I think the state, I think he needs a state approval or something, and they were asking him that money must exchange hands before it can be approved. What is the solution to this? What is the way forward?
Let me start by saying this. When I was answering the other question,
yes,
I said most people, don't let me say most, a lot of people, that is fear, do not understand the consequence of their actions. Assuming in this country we have been shouting that we don't have light, constant electricity, and they have been telling us supplies is dropping. Now somebody deem it fit to invest his money in generating plant. Now on the norms,
yes,
are we not supposed to be running, flying
to
make
embrace
sure
him
that everything that is going to do in the right way, as long as it's doing the right way, sees the light of the day. Should any reasonable person be demanding for anything? That is one. Secondly, look at what happened with the Dangote refinery. We are not refining crude oil in this country. somebody, I am not even talking about the totality of whatever went down.
Yes.
But somebody is trying or tried to have a refinery.
Yes.
Are we not supposed to support the person and make it as easy? We are talking about ease of doing business, so that other people who are as wealthy, whenever we talk about issues in Nigeria, people will say, let the rich do this, let the rich do that. Will you naturally want to use your money to buy anything that is hard for yourself? Have you ever seen somebody that after you have accumulated, or you have some certain amount of wealth, and the next thing you do is that you use your money to buy something that will give you a headache if you are wise enough? But when you make the environment easy and make it a win-win, you have money, you have capital. We have problem in Nigeria we want to solve. Invest your capital, solve our problem, and make more money. That is business. That is reasonable. Somebody, we are talking about hardship. One of your guests, like you mentioned, want to what? Make his own life and the life of his family what? A little bit easier.
Yes.
By investing money. By doing that, he will employ some people. 2, 3, 4, 5. They also have a means of what? Eating. Should a reasonable Nigerian, a reasonable human being want to collect money? But do you know the problem? We assume the next person is rich. We assume you are I told us not to take personally.
So based on that assumption, everyone wants to benefit from that perceived person.
You just see somebody, we don't mind the hardship of the person, thinking of your own hardship alone, and you assume the person is rich. You want to take a bike. You understand? You want to take a bike. You have negotiated that you are supposed to pay what? 400 naira, for instance. The person is, once you bring out 500 naira, what comes to the person is that he will naturally not want to have change. He will naturally not want to have change.
All right.
Expecting that he got another what? 100 naira. Now, we are talking about this problem.
Yes.
I am telling you, of course, it's the most difficult thing that is facing us.
How
in this
do
country.
we navigate?
If we can just remove this corruption. Now, speaking of corruption, I still believe that not all Nigerians are corrupt.
True.
In fact, I strongly believe we have a lot of good people in the system. But the problem we have is that they are not talking. And one of the philosophers, Plato, have said it many years, that the problem is not that the people that are perpetrating evil, they are not the devil here. But those good people that are not perpetrating that evil
choose
to what? Keep quiet.
You're saying they should speak up.
That is the problem. Now, the few people who are speaking up are being victimized. If you are a custom officer and you are not doing what others are doing, you'll be victimized.
Don't you think those people who are not speaking up are trying to, exempt themselves from that challenge of victimization?
That is the problem. Because if one person is speaking up, you'll be victimized. But if as many people are coming on board and speaking up, these days we hardly see examples of good deeds. Sincerely speaking, honestly speaking, while I was growing up, you hardly see the orientation of getting money, getting this thing. The music you listen to is all about money. You listen to music about being a good person, being your brother's keeper. Now the only thing that makes sense now is what? Making money.
All right, doctor.
So and this is a problem.
We have to take reactions, please.
Okay, just before we go.
Okay.
On the issue of how to go, honestly speaking,
yes.
I also believe that our education can go a long way in helping us.
Reorientation.
That is what I'm telling you. Are talking about light. There was a news you are talking about people, the truck driver having an accident. Now the people who want to enlight, is it not to get to them? So these people are not even listening all to the available medias. So you have to design a way of what? Get it to them. And how can we get to them? Every adult was once a child.
Yeah.
So what we have to do is that let us go back to the what? To the childhood. Our childhood, in fact, as a childhood expert, I am even afraid of what is about to come of this country.
Well,
because as we are focusing on the present situation, we are neglecting the effect it's having on the young ones,
Doctor,
which are about to come out to the graduate and start facing another problem.
Let's not be afraid, but let's just be hopeful that whatever we impact,
the reason why I'm afraid is not no. The reason why I'm afraid is not because I'm not hopeful. I am afraid because we are not paying enough attention.
All right.
And I'm doing this, I'm speaking out so that everybody that we hear, starting from each family,
yes,
each family should start paying more attention about their children.
All right.
Instead of pursuing money alone.
All right, this message. All right, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please, good morning.
Bamidele is my name.
You're welcome.
Tax or whatever. The last issue you handle, that is our greatest problem. Corruption. But you said the man there should not fear. I'm fearing because we have youth who can reorientate. At 14, somebody is already into Yahoo. You can see. So the danger is there. I don't know where to start from. We have all belief in money. You see parents taking their children to somebody who will teach him how to do Yahoo. Then on tax, not to waste your time, even the one government is getting from civil servants, I can tell you from my own experience that most of them don't get to the government. Why, as a civil servant, I wanted to collect my tax clearance. It was then I knew my tax was not getting to the right place. Nigeria, we need prayers. Go help us.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Bamidele Ige. We need prayers, according to Mr. Bamidele Ige. This one says, my guest in the house, I welcome the idea of taxing rich men. That should involve property tax. Somebody will have 10 cars, 10 houses. What for? If there is property tax, that money will go into investment. Isa Mohammed from Ilorin. This one also says, what Adeleke said is not new. That has been our major problem. As little as a pure water factory money, as little as pure water factory, money must change hands. If an average Nigerian has the power on oxygen, most of us will be dead. Adeyemo Aliu from Ofa. Well,
I lost an idea of having a school. By the time I visit the government officials involved, the idea died.
The idea died. Whoa.
Completely.
All right, let's take this last call, then we call it a day. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Nedu. It's me, Yemi Asaju again.
You're welcome back.
You see, when we are accusing politicians of being corrupt, I laugh, especially from those who do not know what is happening in the public service. The corruption in the public service is monumental, and even more than what we see among the politicians. In fact, it is a corrupt system, a completely corrupt system. And how we can get it right is a jigsaw that is that calls for concern. Just like my friend Mr. Bamidele has just said, you see, if you have ever worked in the public service, you will understand what I'm saying. From December 15 to January, the first week in January, the amount of money that goes into private pocket is better seen than imagined. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yemi Ashaju, for your submission. And this is where we'll call it a day.
Before we do, I was just add this. Do you know that when people now get job, people get unemployment? I saw somebody saying, I'm not going there because of the salary, but you know the chachua. I was like, they told you how much you collected as salary.
Doctor, are interested? Let's call it a day. Thank you so much for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you very much. Let's us be hopeful that Nigeria will be good again.
Of course, we are hopeful, and let's, like I always say, start from our immediate community by ensuring that we get it right, by ensuring that we do the little things that are right. My name remains Nedu Okorie. My friends call me Odogu. Since you are my friend, you can call me Odogu. Let's do this again next week, where we discuss national issues and hope and be hopeful that our nation become great. Have a wonderful morning.
Hour after hour of quality programming all around the clock with us. Every second and minute counts when it comes to bringing you the best of programming on radio. Diamond 88.7 FM remains your best bet. Be it sport, talk radio, entertainment and music. One thing is certain, we've got you.
ní gbogbo ìṣẹ́jú àti wákàtí lẹ ó fi máa gbádùn ojúlówó àwọn ètò ní ilé iṣẹ́ tiwa. Kò sí àṣàdànù nínú àwọn àlàkalẹ̀ ètò ní ìkànnì tí ẹ ti mọ̀ bí ẹni mowó Diamond 88.7 FM. Ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀. Bó bá jẹ́ lẹ́ka eré ìdárayá,
ìfikùnlukùn lẹ́ka àmúlùdùn eré oníṣe àti